join. I got to add myself to the stage. There we go. Now I'm on the stage. I should be. Oh, sorry. I'm going to mute myself on this other channel. Okay. Cool. Good morning. Somebody give me a just sound check. Let me know if everything is good. If everybody's seeing the screen. Miguel, good morning, everybody. Hi. Good to see you guys. How's everything going? I am trading. I'm starting to trade a S&P swing trade, which I'm going to talk about a little bit a while. But we're going to let everybody come into the room. We started a little bit early. I wanted to just kind of get ourselves organized, get myself tagged out. I think I fixed all of my bandwidth problems, so we should have no more problems with bandwidth. I got actually the split screen to work. So we got a lot of good stuff going on here. Good morning, Galius. Good morning. I am long the S&Ps on a swing basis. You can actually totally see now the stops and targets on the thing. And I am now in defensive mode. Just kind of, I'm going to explain to you exactly kind of how I trade my defensive mode. But this was now I got to go find my cursor. Where's my cursor? Here's my cursor. This was a 3-dot buy, but this was, I knew it was going to be problematic because we had a very, very good 3-dot buy over here that produced a great swing trade. If you came in here at 22, it TP'd at 26, really nice big swing trade here. And this was the second swing trade slice. So it was natural that it was going to probably correct. So one of the techniques that I use now, and I've actually have the rules now. So watch this. I'm going to show you how to do this. Let's see if hopefully this is going to be. All right, we're gonna have to go to full screen on this, I believe. Can I go full screen? Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we can. Oops, my whole screen is frozen now. Hang on a second, guys. Oh, my whole computer just froze. I'm sorry. What a mess. Okay. Bear with me. I got to figure out how to. My whole computer is just totally frozen. Okay, Shift, Command this. Okay. Blew that out. I'm sorry, guys. Just bear with me. I was trying to be fancy, and none of it is working right now. Oh. Trying to. Okay, so bear with me a second, guys. I'm sorry. We're sorry. We're having all sorts of technical difficulties because my Chrome is just not cooperating. I can't get Chrome to. Oh man. Oh, this is a nightmare. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reboot. But I'm gonna have to leave the stream and come back to the stream. I'm really sorry. Just 1 second, guys. Oh. Let me see if I can close a few more apps, and that will free up some memory. I might have to reboot and come back in, guys. Just, bear with me. Oh. Oh, my Chrome just completely frozen out now. So sorry. Nothing is working. Okay, let's go force quit. Google Chrome. Parsec, force quit. Force quit. Preview, force quit. Force quit. Slack, force quit. Force quit. Telegram, force quit. Force quit. WhatsApp, force quit. Force quit. Finder, force quit. Force quit. Cancel. All right, let me see if this is, nope, still have to Google Chrome, force quit, force quit. All right, I'm back on stage. Let me know if you guys, let me guys see if the stream is back on. Let me know if the stream is back on. I've had to redo this. Let's see if I'm back on here, guys. Okay, I'm back. All right, everybody, chill out. Okay, so all of this is turned into sorry, huge nightmare. I'm sorry. I guess I cannot do all the fancy tricks that I want to do here because it's clearly killing my my stream. So you're just gonna have to watch me visually. Let me see if I just want to see something. Okay, I'm just gonna try and do something like this. Okay. All right, so hang on a second. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to see if you guys can see this on a full screen like this. If I go text, I go 3 scalp. Okay, so you guys can see this. I can nope. Oh my God! Again, I see. Okay, so this is just not working. Oh wow! I see what's going on over here. So this just completely kills the screen. All right. Again, I'm sorry, guys. Okay? I'm gonna have to reboot again. I'll be back. We're not gonna do any more fancy stuff. I realize that this is apparently killing. Let me see if I can kill this. Remove. Let me see if I can. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Just hang tight a minute. Everybody, hang out with me. I do have some really good stuff to show you, but you're gonna have to just bear with me because I have to kill Chrome again. I'm starting to understand what's going on over here. Okay, force quit. Force quit. Force quit. Force quit. Force. All right, I'm back on the stream. We're going to remove this, remove drawings. and we're going to just trade normally. Sorry, I can't do anything about this. I was trying to get really, really fancy and show you some rule sets right on the chart, but nothing is working. Okay, let's try one more time. Do you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. I want to see that, you guys see me, hear me. Are we back on screen here? I want to make sure that I am back in play here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. So 9:30 before markets opens up. The good thing is I get to hang out with you for quite a long time. You're just gonna have to trust me verbally. I cannot show you the stuff that I wanted to show you visually. We're gonna have to create overlays for you guys for the rule sets, because apparently the fancy little software that I was trying to use is completely freezing up my stream, and I can't give you the rule sets. So you're just gonna have to follow me visually on the rule sets today. It doesn't matter. We'll be trading these rule sets continuously. But let's get cracking. I want to show you the simple and the swing scalp trades that are really, really working well. And the rules are relatively simple, so you don't really need the written instructions. Hey, Udo, how are you? How's everybody doing? Okay, good. Everybody come on into the room. I guess the delays kind of forced everybody to just come in. It's good that many of you guys are late, because I haven't even gone to the rules yet. But let me do the rules visually over here with like little annotations, so you guys can fully understand exactly what I want to do here. So I'll do this on the NASDAQ, but honestly, my favorite, actually, I want to do it on the S&P as my favorite example. So I have really, really refined the scalping rules to a much better risk-reward ratio, much tighter entry, and much more accurate entry. And here's the first way of doing it. I showed you the 3-dot entry yesterday. We'll go discuss the 3-dot entry in much more complex way today. But let's talk about the very simple 1-dot entry. The 1-dot entry is basically the first dot. Doesn't matter if it's a circle or a diamond, whether it's a retrace trade or momentum trade, we are going long. The first dot on the swing slice. So this is a slice of trend. This is a slice of trend. We're going to go long on the greens, short on the reds, right? With one really, really important caveat that makes all the difference in the world. So the only way I'm going to go long on the green is if the prior slice has a higher low. In this case, it actually does not. So I mean, this was not a trade, but in this particular case, let's look at this one. Let me mark it up for you over here so you guys can actually see it. It's not a perfect rule, but it's the best rule that you're going to see. So here's a prior slice green, and here is the current slice green. Let's imagine we're over here. Imagine we're over here, right? We're imagining at this point, right? So this is the first dot in a green slice. This is the first dot in the green slice, right? So I'm over here, and the only question I want to ask myself is: was the first dot low or low? Am I higher low on my current dot? If the answer is yes, I'm long with a 5 target and a 10 stop. So I'm long 85, targeting 90 with a 10 stop. I've survived the stop here. Boom, hits the target. This is NASDAQ, right? This is NASDAQ. So I actually want to look at. Let's go look at the S&P. Same idea. So S&P, same idea. Here I am. Let's do S&P here on the mark. Here's a dot, and here's a dot. Right? First dots, green slice. So I'm over here. Imagine I'm over here. The only question I want to ask myself is the prior green dot lower low? Am I higher low? Am I making a higher high? The answer is yes, I'm long, right? Now, same question on the red dots. Here's the prior red dot, right? You see this? The prior red dot. Here is the current red dot. This is obviously not the current red dot. I'm just giving you an example. So don't take me literally. It's always examples. So here's a higher red dot Here's the current red dot. Am I low or high? Is this high or low? Yes. I'm short here, 2050. Boom. I'm done for 1 point. 1 point target, 2 point stop. This really creates a much, much tighter risk control for me. Okay. Is everybody clear on this? We're going to just do one dot entries, one dot stops on this thing for now. For now, we're just going to do those two things. I'm going to move. Hang on a second. I'm just going to move my chart over here so I can actually look off screen here. Hang on. Sorry, I'm going to just everything. I had to reboot my whole computer, so everything is just a mess. So we're just going to have to bear with me a second. I want to watch both the S&P and the NASDAQ over here. So right now, market is opening up, right? NASDAQ is just sort of red, red, red. There's nothing going on over here. I'm actually, I'm holding a. I'm gonna, I'm just gonna get rid of this trade because let's not complicate things any more than we have to. Where am I? Exit. Jesus. All right, sorry. One more thing, you guys are gonna have to bear with me because I rebooted everything. All of this is now on the wrong. It's a good thing I looked at this. All of this is now wrong month, so we're gonna have to create. Okay. We're going to have to create everything new here. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, because these are all old months. For some reason, this is not saving my my thing. So we're going to have to go to ES, Z4, select. Okay. ES scalp. Why is this? Oh, because I'm on the 15-minute chart. Hang on a second. 15-minute. I want to go to 1 minute, and I want to go to candle. All right. All right. We're really gonna have to. You're gonna have to just bear with me today on all of this stuff. So I'm actually still holding a swing trade that I'm trying to kind of break even on, and because I couldn't get out of this trade, it's still floating. So let's just let's just exit out. I don't want to play with this trade for right now. So here is a green dot. Let's watch our green dot. Is this a green dot that's a higher low? No. This was the last green dot. It's a much higher green dot. Doesn't matter if it works or it doesn't work. We're not taking this trade. Now we want to look at the S&P. The S&P also had the S&P had actually a higher green dot over here, right? Versus this one. So we missed the S&P trade because we were putzing around. Let me just set up the NASDAQ trade here. Okay, so NASDAQ chart. Sorry, I have to reset all my charts because everything is on September, and for some reason this will not remember my my settings. I'm gonna have to just redo all my settings, and I'm gonna have to go to template. This is NQ scalp. Okay. All right. So okay. So no setups for us right now. We're going to just focus on one dot entries because I want to keep it simple for for right now. And I'm going to try to keep it as long only, short only trades. So now, we're getting into possibly a red slice on both indices. And only if the red dot is a lower high. So it'd have to be, the candle would have to have a somewhere over here. Am I doing a short entry on those things? So, and I also want to do, this is my NQ. And here's my EZ, 1 to 2 points. Okay, we can get rid of this. All right, so we're just gonna trade charts. No DOMs, it's fine. Let's see how this all works. Okay, so this dot is actually lower entry, right? Lower than this one. So we possibly have a sell on NASDAQ. 22 seconds left on NASDAQ, so we will, we'll wait patiently, see how that's playing out. But if this stays, we're going to try and trade this for a 5-10 scalp here, because it is a lower dot right over here. This dot is lower than this one. 6-7 seconds left. Sell market. Let's see if this works. Big retrace. May not work, but let's see if this works. Nope, lots of vol. It's okay. It was very much worthwhile. This is NASDAQ. NASDAQ is always going to be the worst trade to make in terms of volatility. Okay, now we have S&P. Oh, I thought S&P was giving me a signal. Okay, not giving me a signal yet. Watching for the S&P signal. Okay, S&P signal lower low. So we can go to the S&P. $12 seconds left. A little bit poor on my execution here, but all right, no problem. I'm getting tagged out on both of those as volatility reaches. It's not, that's market open. It's going to happen. I'd rather take the small losses now, because I'm going to wash away these losses on the next negative trade. So if I get into a next negative trade that's going to give me a lower low, I'll just simply double up and wash away those losses as I go. But for now, I got clipped on retraces, but I got clipped for just $100 on each trade. Perfectly normal, given the fact that it's big volatility moves to the downside. You see these things. The critical thing is I did a right trade because I shorted a lower low, just as I'm going to go long on a higher high if I get the signal. Now we're just going to sit here, wait very patiently, wait for the next dot to show up on either one of these charts, and see what we can do as our next scalping trades. Market is obviously modestly up and operating off of pretty decent retail sales. Doesn't really matter. It's the first half hour. It's always going to be very volatile for us as far as trades go. And yes, this is one of those situations where I'm probably right in direction and just wrong in execution. But it's, again, utterly immaterial, because this is just the opening salvo of probably 20 trades that I want to make today. And I'll be happy. I'm perfectly happy to get stopped out if on a correct entry. So we'll keep going. We'll wait for the next setup to go. Yeah, it's just you can see that the vol here was very strong, and I just simply hit the retrace on the open. It's I shouldn't trade on the open, but I wanted to show you the setup. So we ate the loss on the setup. Now, while I have your attention, what we have here is, as you can see in NASDAQ, a 3-dot entry, right? A 3-dot entry, assuming this holds. Now, if this holds as a 3-dot entry, what we're going to do is do a swing trade on this particular trade. So far the 3-dot entry isn't holding, and the swing trade is going to go for 40-point stop, 20-point target, and we're going to hold that swing trade unless the trend turns green, and then we're going to go to break even. Okay, so let's do this on NASDAQ. So mark. Oh, exit. Sorry. I covered myself up. No three. You see, it disappeared in the last second. I wasn't watching. Sorry. So I closed myself out, waiting to see if this reconfirms. So far, nothing. So far, we're actually moving into green territory. Okay, here's we're back to green territory, and here's where it gets interesting again. So I'm going to go into my long account, and I'm going to wait to see if I get a green signal here. Remember, the short account right now is just minus 100. We're leaving it alone. We're not trading any short signals unless we get a legitimate short signal. This is not a legitimate short signal. This short signal is a higher low from this one over here. So it's not a trade I want to take. It's not a trade I want to take. In the meantime, turning over to NASDAQ, I want to go back to the short account. I want to sell market. Okay, so I am in a swing trade in NASDAQ, which is now turning a little bit green. Now, I'm going to go defensive on green. Oh, I need to. Okay. Okay, hang on a second, guys. I have to add my. Okay, so go to NQZ, select. Okay, I got to add my super dom here. Now this has gone to green zone, right? Which means I'm going to go try to bring myself back to break even on this trade. Where's my move here? 53, 813. Okay, so we're going to move this all the way down to my entry. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm moving. I'm putting my stop back to 813. I'm trying to. I have to move my target. Let's move my target. Where's my target? My target is 1753. Sorry. Okay. Let me leave it alone. I want to set up my let's see if I can do this. Okay, fine. This is what I want. I have my DOM. I have my charts. I'm literally all over the place. Okay, so let's go back to my short account, which is my short account right here. I'm in my short account, and I'm looking. Remember, I got stopped on NASDAQ short, and if I get a next short signal right over here, I'm going to double up on this account, and I'm going to sell market. All right, let's see, and we can watch this trade over here. So again, this is a lower high, and I'm trying to just make that single dot scalp. All right over here, and we're almost there. And there we go. Okay, and now what I've done is I've completely washed away that negative loss, right? That negative loss on the short. And this is I guess today we're just going to focus on a single dot entry trade, just because everything I have here today is just kind of messed up because my layouts are all screwed up. I have everything got blown up because my computer had to reboot because I was trying to be fancy with all these banners, and my software just simply killed my Chrome. So let me just focus on one single structure setup that I want to show you. Look at this. So right here, I have a green dot. Is this a higher low than this one? It is. Well, it's got to stay here. And if it is, I'm going to go long this thing in my long account. So I'm going to go back to my long account, and I'm going to put myself into my long scalp condition one time if I get the green dot, because I'm going to be buying higher highs, selling lower lows. If I get stopped out, I'm going to double up on the next proper sequence. Okay, it's not a sequence, just went back, back to negative, back to back to negative. And I'm watching, me, I actually absolutely love trading the S&P much more than I like trading NASDAQ, but I don't have any signals in the S&P. Okay, is this NASDAQ signal, this green signal, higher than this one? It is. You can see it. And if it stays green, then I'm going to go back to this. I'm in my buy account. I'm just simply going to go long NASDAQ on this trade, right? Actually, you know what? Let me show you. Let me show you the S&P. I love to do the S&P much more. Look at the S&P. Is this signal higher than this one? It is, just slightly higher. And I'd rather do I love trading the S&P much more. So let's do the S&P. And we're going to go 1-2 points if this thing stays green, for the next 11 seconds. And we're going to see if the long trade here is going to work for us. All right. And I'm long the S&P. Let me just add the S&P here. And here we can see this on the ladder. We're going to trade it with 1-2 market. And again, if this long doesn't work, I'm going to wash it away just like I washed away the shorts. But presumably it's going to be a higher high. Hopefully we get the push. We need to push. What's our target? 25.25. Let's see if this works out. May not work. Yeah, maybe just dying out today. It's a lot of choppy price action. But what we're trying to do basically by doing this is take the absolute best shot at a scalp. Make it work. Doesn't work, we come back next time to the absolute best shot and make that work. Okay? By doing that, we're almost assured of resolving all of our scalp trades on both sides of the market properly, because we're going to ignore lower highs and lower lows. We're going to ignore the bad longs and the bad shorts. Okay, so now it stops out. We almost had it. Didn't quite make the move. It went 40 3/4 our way. It just stopped us out. No problem. We hang tight. We wait for the next long or short condition on the S&P and let it play out until it happens. So that means we have to wait for the next trend slice to appear. Whatever green slice is happening now, we don't pay any attention to it. Ironically enough, had I gone with NASDAQ worked perfectly. So NASDAQ was a higher low. Had I gone here, NASDAQ would have worked perfectly. I just, I like trading the S&P, so I chose the S&P. But the NASDAQ long would have been a nice, clean, easy long over here that would have worked, which is fine. We're perfectly okay in letting it work itself out. Okay, now we're going to go into the red zone. And see if we can get a short signal. Okay, so I'm going to go into my short account. Okay, so waiting to see, have a possible short signal. This is a lower short than this. Is it? Is it? High here. Yes, it is. The high over here is here, and this is the high over here is a little bit low. So now it's got a hold though. This candle just dropped like a stone and came right back up. So not exactly a confidence building candle. Wanted to go down, not go up. All right, 32 seconds left. No signal on the move. There is, however, well, no, there's a clean signal here. So let's wait. So we're in the short, waiting for this candle to complete here. 15 seconds, 14 seconds. No signal, no signal, no signal. I have a sold market. And it's a 1550, and we're right there. And the short side works like a charm. By the way, it would have worked on the NASDAQ as well. I'm simply choosing one versus the other, but the NASDAQ would have worked just as easily, just because, I can only do one at a time. And I want to show you the examples. I like showing you the examples on the S&P because it's a much easier product to start with. Your risks is lower. I think the ability to make 1 point on NASDAQ on S&P is easier than to make 1 point on NASDAQ, 5 points on NASDAQ. So, because, without getting retraced out. So I just, I like for you guys, if you want to practice this to practice it on the S&P more than on NASDAQ. But obviously it works on both. And if you're super aggressive, you can work the NASDAQ. So now we hang tight. Now we wait for the next trend slide. So we're gonna do one dot trades today instead of 3 dot trades, because 3 dot trades are really, really complicated. And I can't, I don't know if I can manage them in real time with you guys, because I have to move my stops and targets, and my whole setup today is all messed up. I'm gonna have to reset my setup for tomorrow. By the way, big news tomorrow. We're gonna trade FOMC live in the afternoon, completely different time. I think it's gonna be 2 o'clock. We'll start 1:45 on FOMC. In the meantime, everybody make sure you if you want to sign up, get the indicator, get everything going. Please join us. Also, tomorrow in the evening after FOMC, we're going to do a special webinar for everybody on all of the day trading strategies. I'm going to explain those day trading strategies for you guys in much more great detail, without me going crazy on the live trading. David is saying it's his first time in the room. I trade live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I guess Monday, because I basically trade live from, from Kathy's room. So yeah, you could come join us all those days. On days when we have big events like FOMC, I don't trade in the morning. We're going to trade in the afternoon after the event. But what's going to be really cool is I think the 1 dot trades in post-event tomorrow are going to be fire. They'll probably be volatile as hell, but I think they're going to make it. They're going to give us lots of really interesting opportunities if we have switchbacks in trend. So we're sort of calming down a little bit. Negative trend now. There's no signals for us because we completed this the red scalp structure, and just for you guys, just to see, can I go full screen on this, or is this gonna? I'm so petrified that this is gonna freeze my chart now. So hang on a second. Let me just bring another screen over here, because I am just petrified that I'm gonna. Oh no! Now it's gonna go to full half screen. God damn it! I want to go to full screen. Is this going to blow me up? Please don't blow me up. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay. I'm just getting big screen because I want you guys to see this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 2 sides of the trade to show you. So remove indicators. Oh, no, sorry, it's not what I want. Scalper. Remove drawings. Okay. So I want to show you, and we're going to just take a break from trading. I want to show you the setup so you guys can follow me on the setup. So you guys can really see what I'm talking about. Let's use NASDAQ as an example, right? So we're going to start just arbitrarily, start over here, right? I have a green dot. This green dot is clearly lower than this one, clearly lower than this one. Trade? No, not a trade. Doesn't matter that it works, it doesn't work. First of all, it's in front of retail sales. I wouldn't have taken anyways, but it's not a trade, right? Next green slice over here. This green dot over here. Higher low? Yes, it is. This low is higher than this low. I take it +5, right? Totally cool trade. Next green slice over here with a green dot. Higher low? Yes, it is. It's higher than this one. Take it +5, right? +5. It completes in this green slice, so I have no trades. Now we go on to this green dot. Is this a higher low? This particular trade higher low than this one? I believe it is. If it is, I take it. I have another +5. So now how many times did I do fives? I did 1, 2, 3. 3 fives, right? One more over here. Green dot, new green slice, higher low than this one. Yes, +5, 20. So now I have 20 points. 20 points, which is $400 in how long? 1 hour. In 1 hour on the long side, right? Can you guys see the screen? I'm sorry, you can't see the screen any bigger. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why the screen is so small. Hang on, let me bear with me. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second, guys, and I'll come back in just 1 second. Let me see if I can leave site. Let me see if I can share my screen with bigger size. Share screen, entire screen. This share. It's not. I don't know why it's not letting me. It's sharing on a small size. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's happening here as far as. All right, I'm gonna have to ask my tech person tomorrow. I can't. I'm sorry. You guys just have to bear with me on the screens as they are. I wonder if I can. Oh, hold on just 1 second. Just bear with me. I need to. This rectangle. Oh. Okay, sorry. You're gonna have to just bear with me on this. It's more important that I explain this setup to you guys than just try to fix all my technical issues today. There are clearly a lot of technical issues today. My apologies. I guess I can go this way. I guess I can do it this way. This is the best I can do right now. Let me see if this is showing up here on the screen. Let me ask you this. Given the fact that I'm having all sorts of technical issues, what do you prefer? That you just watch the chart in full, as big a screen as I possibly can, and or that you have a split screen with the execution and the chart? By the way, not a setup. Lower red dot. Lower red dot. Doesn't matter if it works or not. Not a setup. You guys see this? I just want you to understand the setup. So what do you guys prefer? Give me a choice here. Do you want to see split screen with execution and chart? Do you want to see full chart, given the fact that my screen is a little small today? Full chart. So far, I'm getting full charts. So if you don't care about the execution is going to go off chart. I'm just going to execute off chart. and you guys are going to see, and I'm going to just put myself to full screen the best I can. Right? It's better to see the full chart. Okay. All right. Everybody's saying full chart. Okay. So my apologies. I can't do execution. Maybe we're just gonna have to not do execution on the screen. Or maybe we just do it this way. All right. Here's what we do. Yeah, I just realized. Here's what we do. So we're gonna go the old-fashioned way. I guess me getting fancy isn't gonna work. The technology is only so good. So we'll go to execution, and I can switch back and forth if I have to. But for now, let's stay on full screen, full chart. And again, I know I see the chart is small here. I don't know why the chart is small. The last successful ES trade on the short side was because this high was lower than this high. We're always looking at the last red segment or the last green segment. If we're green, we're looking at the last green segment, seeing where it is. If we are red, we're looking at the last red segment, seeing where it is. Here's NASDAQ. This last green segment is low. This is too low. It doesn't matter that it works. We're not taking this trade. This is the prior green segment. This dot is way above. In order for me to make a trade, I've got to have a higher high. Similarly, look at this red segment. This red dot is lower than this red dot. This red dot had a high over here. This red dot had a high over here, right? So this was a short that worked, 49. Although no, this was a short that did not work. I'm sorry, we got stopped out on this short because of the. Did we get stopped out? I'm not even sure. It was because of the volatility of the move. This is, by the way, the reason why I hate trading NASDAQ. NASDAQ is so much more volatile than volatile in a bad sense of the word. What I mean by bad volatility? Bad volatility is when you're correct on your target, but you still get stopped out, right? You're correct on your target, but you still get stopped out. This happens in NASDAQ much more than it does in the S&P. You just have to accept that fact and then come back to it, and trade it on the next setup, The advantage of it is that when it does work, you start hitting some really, really good trades. Okay, so I have a red setup on NASDAQ now, and if I get a red dot, it's clearly going to be a lower red dot than the prior red dot. It's going to give me a buy trade. In the meantime, still staying sort of red. Oh, sorry. In the meantime, here's S&P, legitimate short here. Let's go to the S&P and sell this. My short account, sell market. May not have worked, but it was a legitimate short. I want to take every legitimate short I can, and if it doesn't work, we will repair it on the next proper short. Why did I take this S&P short? I took it because this red dot is lower than this red dot, right? And therefore, it's a legitimate short trade, right? Now I'm a little bit late on the century, and it's definitely going against me, and so on and so forth. It happens. I really don't care. 10 o'clock. Is there news on the 10 o'clock? Do we have any news on? I may have just traded myself into news, which I'll have to take a look at. But my point is, I could care less whether this works or not. Okay, it doesn't work because on the next short, when I get the next short set up, I'll even out this trade, right? I'll even out this trade like I did with the other trade. In the meantime, watching NASDAQ. NASDAQ has no signals for us. NASDAQ has no signals for us. The S&P has a green dot, but it's a much lower green dot. I don't care that it's going to, that it may work. I'm not taking this trade. I will wait for a higher high green dot on the S&P when I get it. And I'll go into my long account and I'll trade that. The green dots are momentum. The green diamonds are retrace trades. And we only, we don't care whichever one shows up. We're going to take that as a signal as long as it's a higher high or a lower low. So right now, everything is in green mode. There is no trade in NASDAQ because NASDAQ is off of a lower green mode. This green dot is much lower than this one. As I said, I don't care that it would have worked. It's not a setup I want to take because it's much better to be buying continuously higher trades than to just hope that a lower trade is going to work in your favor. So I took the S&P in that trade because this was a red dot. I have to look at the prior red dots over here. It was a lower low, so it was a legitimate sell. I sold the bottom. As you know, as it happens, the market is very choppy. It doesn't have a lot of continuation. So when it doesn't have continuation, this is going to give you a false signal occasionally, and you just simply you take your stop and you wait for the next setup. So now kind of popped really nice. Popping to the top of the range, trying to make ourselves into a longer term green trade. So I guess the lesson of the day today is don't screw around with Mother Nature. In other words, I try to do split screens. That's not going to work. I try to do fancy graphics. That's not going to work. I'm going to keep it clean and simple because, what's important here is just making sure that we make good trades, not fancy graphics. So my apologies. I will do this, and I will try to fix the screen so it's full screen. I don't know why the screen is. I think it's because I logged in and logged out, and I got knocked out of the stream. That my screen is very small today. So just my apologies for all the messes that's going on here, but it is what it is. We're building a pretty decent continuity trade. Now, I'm going to talk about the continuity trade. I'm not going to do any continuity trades today because it's just been too complicated to show this with you. But a continuity scalp is one where you have 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter, by the way, in the continuity scalp, I don't care if it's higher highs or higher lows, because here, the very fact that I have 3 consecutive green dots means that there's a potential longer-term green trend happening. And when that is happening, I want to get long here at 70 with a 20-point target, which this would have actually been a nice 20-point trade, and a 40-point stop. The one advanced technique that I introduced here is if it kind of stops, like here's a 3 dot red, right? If it stops over here and turns back to green, what I want to do is go right away to break even and just get myself out of the trade, because even though this trade may have worked, in the long run, it's actually much better to you don't know that it was going to continue selling. What it could have done is it could have completely reversed itself. The point is, if the trade is really good, the 3 dots will continue and you make money. If the trade is wobbly, there's only 2 possibilities. You're absolutely wrong and it's going to just turn against you, or maybe it will recover and go your way. Then it becomes, instead of becoming a 100% confident trade, it becomes only 50% confident trade. And when you're in a 50% confident trade, you just want to get out. You just want to get out and take a scratch trade, because on a multiple sequence basis, you don't have any edge in a 50% basis trade, in a 50% trades. Yes, I'm still using the 8-period SMA. It's just the 8-period SMA that we're using as our setup here. So everything just popped really big. And now we have nice clean trends all across, and I don't have any signals. And as a matter of fact, if I get a red trend, it's not going to be a trade, because at this point the red dots are going to be much higher than the prior segment, just because everything got lifted higher. And there may be a secondary green wave after this, which is the one that I'm going to be taking. So we'll just have to be very patient on the dot scalps, on the scalp trades. By the way, if we look at the S&P, there's 1, 2, but no 3 dots yet. So we don't even have like a scalp swing signal here, right? That's what's kind of interesting here, is that we don't have a scalp swing signal here on 3. And here's a good example of what I mean about being defensive. Here's three cells over here, right? 3 cells on the 3 cell signals, right? You get short here, and now it turns green, and you're like, you can say, oh, it may come back down. Once it turns green, your chance of winning this trade goes from 100% to 50%. And what you should be doing is moving your target right to break even, because now you have a chance to get out of flat. This goes from basically you save yourself 40 points of loss on a swing trade. That's what I kind of wanted to show you guys here on these swing trades as things are happening. I'm just not taking them today because it's just too many other things are going on. But here in this particular swing trade, 1, 2, 3, you see, so 1, 2, 3. This is the third candle. You long here at 71. You have a 100% chance of winning as long as the trend stays green, and in fact, it TPs you and you are green now. So that's what I mean about the essence of being defensive on the swing trades. That's what makes them so so interesting as a possibility. Do you ever just try to 2-minute or 1 minute? I like the 1 minute chart. This, the 1 minute chart is the most sensitive one. Why do I want? What's the value of waiting longer? It's just going to give me less sensitive signals. Remember, I have complete confidence that as long as I have my signal, maybe not on the first time, maybe not on the second time, but definitely by the third time, I will resolve it, And even if I don't resolve it, none of that, I'm doing such small size relative to my account that I'm not going to get blown out of my account. But as long as I'm buying higher highs, lower lows, I'm very confident that I will resolve it within 2 trades. And that means virtually every trade I take that's proper, single dot, scalp entry, by the end of the day, I'll be okay. And then even in the worst case scenario, if I'm not okay, I'll only be not okay in one account. Let's say my long account or my short account. Because what will happen is that one of those, if it's kind of a one-sided market, one side is going to work all the time. The other side may not work nearly as much. So you're still going to be making money on one side of the account. And all I'm interested in is just getting one of those accounts to target, and then just come back and running it again. So as long as I can stay alive in both accounts and move one forward, I'm in good shape. And now we just have to be very, very patient because all the techniques are going. So here's S&P just went green dot. Let's just do this. We're gonna go to my long count. Where's my long count? Long count. Let's go to my S&P. We're gonna go to 4.8 by market. And I'm going to, so now I am, so this is my take profit, right? At 35, 4 points higher. And I'm probably going to have to be defensive about this. I doubt this is going to be just like sort of easy money, but maybe it is. Maybe it'll be easy money for me. Maybe it is easy money. We'll see. I'm actually going to move this over here. Because I was late on my entry. I should have been in. What was my entry? Should have been 30. Yeah, I was late on my execution on my S&P because I wasn't watching. So 34 should be my target. That's the proper target. Now, what we're going to watch here is this. As long as this slice stays green, we should be fine. If the slice starts turning red like it's doing now, it's going to fucking, now it's, of course, it's going to, stop me out. We're going to get defensive. So it's 28 seconds left. We're not moving at all right now. We're not moving. This has to close red. Then we're going to put ourselves to break even stop. Now, I hate not showing you winning trades, but I actually think it's much better for me to show you scratch trades, because winning trades are easy, but scratch trades are very, very important to understand. So now I'm in a red zone. Let's see if it stays in the red zone. It does. And that means I'm going to go back now and put myself to break even. Now, it may not even work. I may be stopped out. I may have to eat this whole trade, but at least I'm giving myself a chance to get out of this trade at scratch, because clearly the trade blew up on me on the move. But as I said, the market almost always gives you an opportunity to get out at a profit. I'm actually sorry. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to give myself a small loss because I made a bad execution. The actual entry was at around 30.50. So I want to give myself a chance to just simply get out at the proper, at the original entry. But this is a more important technique than winning. So here I am. This is where I should be. I'm trying to see if I could just blow myself out, essentially at break even over here. And I don't care if this thing rallies, 30 points from now. It's immaterial to me. It may not even give me a chance to get out at a small loss here. It's just the market has just been truly cruel to me today because of all my technological issues. But it's fine. Okay. So does it get out? Okay. And now it doesn't matter that it could be a winning trade. I will reconfigure myself back to winning if it happens. What I'm much happier about is I did not lose money on this particular trade. It was a setup. It was a huge, huge extension. You saw this massive fucking red move, right? I don't know what the hell that was. Market has been like this all week long. Huge rallies and then just a 10-point drop. And if you're not protective during the drops, or if you're not protective when the trade is going against you, you're just going to be constantly getting stopped out at much bigger losses than you should be. So okay, so now we're back in kind of no man land. We're back in the reds. I'm watching NQ. Is NQ going to give me a single dot red entry? It's got to be somewhere around here in order for me to make it viable. It's got to be like below 82 in order for me to become, to be a viable trade. The screen is small, Zippy, because I fucked up my computer today. I cannot fix it on today's stream. I will fix it on tomorrow's stream. It's like some kind of a issue on my end, which I'll have to. I need my technical people to come in and fix it. So we're doing the best we can with what we got. And this is what, by the way, the key thing I love about live trading. When you're live trading with me, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, right? You get every fuck up that can possibly happen because that's real live trading versus bullshit live trading, right? Lots of things go wrong all the time. And if you don't have the mindset to just not give a shit and keep trading properly, you're never gonna play this game properly, right? Doesn't fucking matter that trades weren't going, that stuff froze, that I had the wrong months on my Trade-of-8 because we're in the roll week, and for some reason Trade-of-8 isn't remembering my templates. Like a million things will go wrong all the fucking time, all the time. And if you give a shit about any of that, you will always lose. If you don't give a shit about that, you will always win. Okay, I got a green dot on NASDAQ. Ah, fuck, I'm late. I'm talking and I'm late. Okay. Buy market. Doesn't matter. Still made money. Okay. I was wrong. I was just, bullshitting. See this? This is the only problem, guys. This is the only problem with a non-split screen. This is why I think we have to go. I think we have to go back to me executing off screen. So the problem is, my trades can be super fast sometimes, right? You snooze, you lose. And why did I take this trade? And let's do the slow motion explanation of why I took this trade, right? This is the prior green slice dot. This is the current green slice dot. What do you see here? What do you see? What do you see? What's the first thing you see? Write out to me. I can't go back to split screen because it's too small. It's just like it. Here's the thing, guys, and it's a little bit frustrating because unless I can do, I don't think I can do multi-screen. Can I do multi-screen? I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask my my technical people of how to try to figure this out. But the bottom line is you can't have everything, right? We have a beautiful, beautiful indicator that nobody else in the world has. I'm showing you the indicator so you guys, can enjoy it. And obviously, if you want to get the indicator, then you can obviously here's the link to get the indicator. Come get it. The indicator helps me. By the way, not a higher high here, a little bit lower high. So I'm letting that trade pass up. It may work, but I'm just letting it pass up. This is not a trade. This red is higher than the prior red, right? You guys see that? Not a trade. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter if it works or not. I don't give a shit. I'm not trading it, right? Not a trade. So the frustrating part is that we have like so many beautiful technologies, but we can't stuff them all into a tiny little screen as I'm broadcasting for you and make my trades. I can play bullshit trader and say, oh, look, you could have taken this trade and look how well you would have done. But that's not what I do. I trade for real, right? And if I trade for real, it means I got to execute. And if I got to execute, I can't like accommodate all the stuff. I can only show you the best way I can. So I'm going to have to probably execute off screen if I catch these moves, because these moves happen very fast and I don't have the time to explain and do the trade. So, we got lucky on this move because I took it really, really fast. It worked. This is not a trade. I'm not taking it, right? Let's take a look at the S&P. Let's see what the S&P is showing me. S&P actually had a legitimate long trade that would not have worked, right? This was a higher low right over here off of this, would not have worked. Would I give a shit? No, because I will wait for the next resolution and we will resolve it then. Now, remember, did I make money on the short S&P? I think I did make money. Yeah, I did make money on the short S&P. Correct. So I'm actually still, this was the long S&P over here. So the problem is, not the problem, but the key thing about my setup is it forces you to be patient. This was a long S&P that I got stopped out on. I did not take this setup because this wasn't a legitimate setup, right? This setup was a legitimate setup, would not have worked. I would have taken this setup and I would have gotten clipped out. No problem. I'm two to the bad. The next time I get a higher green, I would have taken it and I would have resolved it. So you just have to trust the fact that as long as you follow the structure, it will resolve eventually. This was, the S&P today is kind of very, very tough trade because what happened is we had this huge, big buy wave, and this higher high wave is really coming in after a very big exhaust move, right? So that's why had I gotten like a nice green move over here, I would have been almost certain to have resolved it on the second try. But I didn't take this trade anyway, so it doesn't matter. No harm, no foul. NASDAQ not taking this trade, even though that would have worked because it's a higher low. So now I'm just going to wait patiently to see a lower low on NASDAQ to take a short trade. NASDAQ, I'm unresolved. No, I did resolve my short trade. I resolved my short trade, so now it's going to be my first entry in the short trade. But going back to the S&P, remember I talked about the idea of getting defensive and just taking myself at break even? Well, what's going on over here? We're kind of topping out right now. It still may go up higher. It doesn't matter. But as I said, the moment it leaves the green zone, this, by the way, let me see if this is, I'm watching the setup. This is the high. No, it's not going to work. This is a lower high, not a trade for me. Not a trade for us. I'm watching to see if we can get a little bit more setups over here. Really frustrating because this is just a tiny. I probably I probably could cheat on this trade, but I'm not going to. This is a higher high red, so not a trade for me over here. NASDAQ is just in the red zone. Now, NASDAQ is in a red zone and possibly showing me a 3-dot setup. A 3-dot setup will put me into a short swing trade, right? Like, in other words, I could possibly have a short swing trade if this thing works. The S&P really is torturing us. 30.75. I kind of thought this trade would have worked. I would have taken it, even though it was a low. It wasn't a classically kosher trade. It was still a pretty good trade. So we just, now I'm just going to have to wait, be very, very patient, and wait for the next green slice in the S&P in order for me to take a proper trade. In the meantime, NASDAQ. Where's NASDAQ? Is this a higher low than this one? I think it is. So NASDAQ actually is giving us a trade. If NASDAQ stays green here, we have a long setup in NASDAQ. So I'm just waiting patiently here in NASDAQ for the candle to close. NASDAQ is really, really popping. This is the hardest thing about NASDAQ, is that, it just gets so big on the candle that you could be right on the trade and wrong on the setup. I'm at 810. My target is 815. But it could stop me out on the retrace because it's just a huge move. Let's see if I get any more juice on this thing. No, unfortunately, it's going to retrace on us, I think, because this candle is so. Look at the move from the moving average. Such a huge move. It's still going to, it's probably going to go hit target eventually, but we have a tight stop and we have to honor the stop. So yeah, it retraced out. I was concerned this is going to be a tough trade for us. And look at this. It retraces, comes back out. It's obviously going to do that. Not much we can do about this particular setup, except, and look, now it's just coming right back up and doing its thing. It's fine. On the next buy setup, we'll resolve this. This is what NASDAQ does all the time. This is why I really do not love trading NASDAQ on the super scalp base. Look at that, just doing its usual thing. Okay, here's what's interesting on the S&P. The S&P has a 3-dot setup over here. Is it going to be a swing setup? Maybe. Let's give it a shot. S&P, buy. Actually, exit. Buy market. So here I am on the S&P. We have no idea if this green trend is going to hold or the red trend is going to come back, and maybe it's going to come back again, but we're going to give it a shot because it's giving us a swing setup. The swing setup is, in my opinion, a much better setup to trade for most people because it gives you basically three possibilities: a big win, an occasionally big loss, and a scratch. And if you can create a couple of big wins and a couple of scratches, you are big net positive on the day, right? So like right now, basically, what are we in? Like 32. 36 is my target on the S&P, I believe, right? What's my target on the S&P? Uh, 35.50 is my target on the S&P. And I'm just basically staying here. And as long as the trend stays green, I'm okay. Now, it looks problematic, right? It definitely looks problematic. We'd have to have the market really start, it's 10:30, see if the European close kind of lifts us up. We're at session highs, so it's going to go one way or the other. Now, if it goes red, I'm just going to go back to scratch, right? And maybe this doesn't work, but every time I want to give myself a chance to participate in a big swing trade. And now it's just going to go straight to red. So now I'm just going to move my take profit back to break even. And I'm back, back to break even again. Like kissing your sister, but I've preserved my, preserved my position, right? I don't know if this is going to go. The point is, I don't know if it's going to go along. The very fact that it went red is, reduce my probability to 50%. So today is really all about losing well rather than winning well in terms of my trades. This is not a short. Why is it not a short? Because the prior red was way lower, right? Much as I would love to short this, it's just not a short. It's it's not going to work for us, right? So we're going to just be very patient now and wait to see what happens. And yes, it works. Yes, it's it would have been an easy trade. That's not the point. The point is, if I'm going to do being consistent, I want to be shorting weakness. I want to be buying strengths. If you are going to do kind of like a higher low, lower high, obviously after a big move, you have the best probability. But this could just be a pause that could take us to a fresher high here right now. So no point in trying to guess a top with very little very little probability. So I just explained the swing trading chart, right? There's nothing more complicated than that. If I have 3 signals, that tells me that there is possibility of a trend, or 3 dots at possibility of a trend. And then I just either trade for trend or trade for break even. That's what I'm doing, right? That's all it is. It's a super simple way to to manage your approaches. So watching the chart, nothing much going on here. We're in the red zone. NASDAQ also is in the red zone too. The NASDAQ, by the way, is at a higher red also. So it's a good example where you don't want to be this red is higher than this red, so no reason to short it, right? Although it was close enough that you could have said, maybe I could take this trade, but no reason. There's no reason to get to make the trade unless you're pretty confident that it's a good setup. Still staying in the red on all sides here. Now we're having a second red dot, which means that we could be creating a sell-off segment, and if it's going to be a sell-off slice, we'll try to trade that as well. But okay, here's what I want to point your attention to what I did before: losing well. right? I had 3 segments. It looked like it was going to go long. I got myself out at break even. Think about what if I didn't get myself a break even, right? I would have been down 6, 7 points now. I would have been down, 8 points on the S. I would have taken an 8-point loss in the S&P unnecessarily, right? Because I was greedy trying to hold on to the position. You see what I'm saying as far as like when you're doing swing trades, you have 3 options, and everybody always thinks you have 2 options. Now we're starting a little bit of a sell-off. The markets are obviously really, really non-directional this whole week because they're all waiting for the Fed tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning is going to be even more choppy. We're going to trade at 145 tomorrow. We're going to trade 145, and we're going to go probably to like 4 o'clock tomorrow because he's going to do his press conference. I'm going to comment on the press conference and trade the price action as it shows up. Tomorrow probably is going to be pretty good price action for swing trades if we can get any kind of directionality, because usually when you get the Fed, you get these nice big 30, 40-minute blocks of directionality, and that means you're assured of your P&Ls as long as the trend stays stays in your direction. So now we kind of slowed down a little bit of a sell-off. Market really not doing much. Everybody twiddling their thumbs. No signals on either side. Let's do a poll today. Have you ever used a scratch technique? I want to know how many of you guys have tried to do what I just showed you, which is go to break even the moment things look like they're going to go against you. The very cool thing about this particular indicator and why I absolutely love it is it's incredibly objective in telling you when things go wrong, right? I mean, it's obviously objective also. When things go right, it's obvious. But it's when things go wrong, like the moment the green trade turns red, it's a warning sign. Go to break even, right? Same thing on the short side. The moment it starts turning green, you don't know if it's just a pause or move up your butt, as my wife used to say, you certainly don't want the latter, right? As I said, the moment the green trade goes red, your chance of winning goes 50-50 instead of 100%. Same thing when the moment a red trade goes green, same thing. So why are you in the trade? Because you're praying? Prayer is not a technique in trading. Everybody understand this, by the way? It looks like almost 3/4 of you have not tried this, so this is good. I want to see, how's the poll going? Answer my poll here. I was only 4 votes. Come on, guys. I want to see you vote. Get your asses in there and start voting. Let's go. I want some answers here, because I want to see, how important this is on this, and kind of teach you this technique, which is almost as valuable, as the entry techniques in keeping you guys much, in keeping the capital much better protected. And this, by the way, is going to be one of the things we're going to be really discussing in the fall season of Pass the Prop. Learning how not to lose, which is just as important as learning how to win. So here's a link to PTP if you guys want to join me. It's going to start next week. Okay, so now we're starting green zone, right? Kind of coming back. Let's see what kind of signals we're going to get on the green side. Now we're really starting to pop back up. Now, is this a buy? Is this a one dot buy or no? Let's see. Type in your answers here. If the green dot stays on the trade right now, it's not even showing us a green dot. But if it does, assuming there's a green dot on here, do we buy this trade or no? Let's see what you guys learned today. Ricardo says no. Anybody else want to answer the question? Why do we not buy this trade? We don't buy this trade because it's a lower high. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But we're not, we don't need to guess. It's clear that it's a weak green. A strong green is when it's a higher green. A weak green is when it's a lower green, right? A strong red is when it's a lower red. A weak red is when it's a high red. Now, can it work? Absolutely. Like it clearly, market is generally up. This thing worked great. We can wait for the next red wave to come in. We could wait for the next red signal to come in. We don't need to take every single signal as it develops. Now, I was going to say, the only thing that's interpretive here, and I don't really want to be interpretive. I want to stick to my rules. But, if you're looking at the chart, it's pretty clear that we had a big green wave, right? That this is that we haven't come back down to the lows of the green wave. We're still trading higher green wave. So if you're looking at kind of a trend line basis, this is a higher red. It's a relatively strong, higher green. It's a relatively strong green. You could say, this is probably one of those places where you could have taken the one dot trade, but you really don't need to. The point is that yes, in this particular case, it would have worked. But if this is really going to be like, if the market is going to run, 20, 30 points higher, there'll be another red green wave move. There'll be a trend that's going to just go up and down and up for further gains. And when that happens, we'll have we'll have the good signal show up on the charts. So we don't really have to, take every single trade, force every single trade just because we really want to be in the thing. Again, kind of a quiet day. Is this a start of a nice clean green slice? Don't know. We'll have to watch. NASDAQ is also, starting to create a little bit of a green slice. Again, NASDAQ also, by the way, I'm sorry, guys. I should have been watching this. The NASDAQ green trade actually would have been a good trade. I missed the NASDAQ green trade because I was watching the S&P. This NASDAQ is generally stronger today, right? And this trade would have been fine. We could have actually taken this trade and would have resolved this little green trade before. It's fine. I'll just wait. I'll wait for another opportunity to try to resolve it. Two important things. Wait for the proper setup. If you miss the proper setup, there'll be a proper setup in the next 20 minutes. Don't chase it. There's no reason to chase this trade right now. I missed the setup because I was watching the S&P and I kind of, I got distracted because somebody else was messaging me right now. But this was a pretty decent setup. Because you see this green over here, this green over here was a higher high, was a pretty legitimate setup. We could have taken this 96 and it would have been fine. It would have worked. But it doesn't matter. There'll be another one like this. That's the key thing. There'll be another one like this forward. Furthermore, what's going on right now? We have possible green segment in development. We have 2 dots. We get a 3 dot. We're going to get a green segment in development. We're going to take that to the long side as a swing trade, right? we'll let that happen. We'll see if that plays out. The point is, we don't know at any given time in the market when things are going to go significantly our way, a little bit our way, or just completely wrong against ourselves. What we can do is choose the best possible entries, choose the best defensive techniques, and be patient enough, for the setups to come to us, not to force every single trade. Like, if we can just eliminate, the great thing about the indicator is it just eliminates a lot of bad behavior, because it makes you wait until the setups, start to show up on the charts. And then after that, it's really up to the market gods to help facilitate our trades. So, now we have a 3-dot setup on NASDAQ and a 3-dot setup on the S&P, right? Here's the S&P. We've got 48 seconds on the S&P. We're going to go into our 3-dot setup. This is the 4-8 slide, and we'll see if that trade plays itself out. This is my long count. Yeah, I'm in my long count. 35 seconds left. So, wow, really starting to pop. Fresh highs, fresh highs. Six seconds left. Buy market. We're in market now. Now we're gonna, and I also have the. Okay, let's see if I can. All right, I'm in market on both red 3-dot trades in NASDAQ and the S&P. Now, this is a big move, so could possibly retrace against me. But we're going to stay in this trade unless the trade turns red. Fortunately, I only got 10 more minutes with you guys, so we'll have to see if the trade can develop. But if the trade stays green, presumably we should be good on the trade, right? Is this a big breakout? We don't know until it happens. But this is a sign that we have a trend building, and we're going to stay in this trend and not get defensive unless the trend starts to turn red. This, by the way, somebody was asking me, why do I use the 1-minute chart? Because the 1-minute chart gives me that incredible sensitivity to the moves, right? And where am I on my trader bait? Oh wow, this really popped hard. Ah, shit. I kind of want to. This is why I fucking hate trading charts in this. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm cursing. I wanted to just get out really fast, and I just, I was watching the chart, not this. Fuck me. All right. And now it's going to probably, it's probably going to move back, and it's going to make me a defensive trade, and now we're just going to have to stay defensive. But it is what it is. There are at least 5 to 7 swing trades a day. All you need is maybe 2 or 3 of them to make a meaningful, P&L and break even on the rest. And even if you're fine, you're in good shape. Today is just one of those days where I'm behind the curve on everything. And also the market is just very hard for me because the breakouts are just so massive. I'm forced to buy the tops. It's retracing against me. The price action is just very difficult to surf on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm basically surfing the price action, right? The waves are just super high. But I am staying to my structure. Everything is green on the charts. And until unless it goes the other way, I'm really not gonna change my my approach. What's my target on this? I don't even know what my target is on this. I am in at 35, so this would be 39 on this. And what is it on the S&P? 38, and I am at 58 on the target. This went to 50 on the target before, so I really, I had a good move here, but now it doesn't. 3-dot trade is a 20-point stop, 20-point target, 40-point stop. NASDAQ on the S&P, it's a 4-point target, 8-point stop. Okay, you can see it right here. So we're staying patient. You know, if you look at the charts, you know, we're obviously in the green zone. As long as we're in the green zone, we stay in the green zone. But if we get into the red zone, we're going to try to go to break even. This was you see this third candle? It was just a massive, massive candle, right? If this candle was a little bit tight right here, it would have been already a take profit. That cannot be helped. Every single trade, individual trade, is a potential, a potential loss, right? And now we're going to go red. Now we're going to go red, and I'm just going to have to get defensive. This is unfortunate. And like I said, we sort of had this big burst. Now we're going to go red. Now I'm just waiting to make sure that the trade goes red in terms of signal, in terms of structure. Because this candle may not be red by the time it finishes, and if it doesn't finish, then we don't need to go to break even. But if it does finish red, we're going to go to break even and just simply manage the trade this way. So yeah, every single day things may not cooperate, right? Things cooperated here, they didn't cooperate here, they may not be cooperating here. You never know. All you're trying to do is be as defensive as possible when things don't go your way, and as offensive as possible as when they do. So now I have to go over here and bring my take profit all the way down to break even. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the S&P. I'm going to go over here and bring my take down all the way down to break even, right? And whether it works or not really doesn't matter. At this point, it's out of my hands. I'm just letting the trade get managed in the best defensive way I possibly can. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm sorry for all the technical issues today. I'm sorry for all the difficulties. We're going to fix everything tomorrow before FOMC. And hopefully the setups will be with us. Today it's been a relatively challenging day, although, it's not like we lost money. We just simply haven't been able to bank really, really big P&Ls, just because every time I'm coming into the trades, it's been at unfortunate entries. But the key thing is we're sticking to setups. We're trading small. We're basically being defensive. And to me, those are much like defense beats offense anytime, as long as you have a good defense. And that's what I wanted to kind of teach you here as far as techniques. All right, guys, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. We were going to try and do this a lot better tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.